ahead and use them. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Well, I'll tell you, nobody handles garbage better than we do.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. What are you smiling about?
Dude, I almost had you.
Welcome to my next review. This is the G.I. Joe Classify series, number 175, G.I. Joe Steel Corps Sentry and Modular Defense Post. Now, I recently got this from Hasbro Pulse and wanted to get a review out there. So this is the Joe equivalent of the modular fortification. So first, let's take a look at the packaging. So here's the front of the box, so you can see the steel core, some of the artwork, along with the figure in the package. Top of the box just has the Joe Star, number 175. This side has some of the artwork of the steel core, their tech specs, the QRC code. Opposite side has more artwork. The bottom, legal stuff, how many pieces are in the packaging, I think. Usually there's a number there. And then the barcode. And then the back side has a parts count. And then kind of like some highlights of the set and the figure. So let's get the turntable out of here and get this puppy open. Now, I just recently opened up the Cobra one because I'm behind. And the main reason why I wanted to get to this one a little bit sooner is because I plan on doing a live stream. By the time this airs, I've already done the live stream. But I want to do a live stream because I only have 2 of the Cobra ones and 1 Joe, and I think the key is to have like 3 of these. But here is what it looks like in the packaging. I would eventually like to get 3 Joe and 3 Cobra. I just need 1 more Cobra one. So maybe eventually. And then one thing I noticed with the Joe one, you get I think that's the biggest difference with the Joe and the Cobra. I mean, other than like, you know, colors and figures, is the Joe gets the missile rack that comes with the Stinger. I think there was a bit of a price difference. I think the Joe one was a little bit more expensive. That's all, you know, that's all we needed was, you know, more reason to make our toys more expensive. I don't know why I'm using the nippers for that. I should have just pulled my knife out, but so put the panels right here. That's different. That's the first time I've had one of these boxes taped. Typically they're just closed. So this one has 3 bags, where the Cobra one only had 2. Let's take a look at the instructions, see if the instructions are the same. That was one of my complaints. Nope, you know what? Was this on the Cobra? Like, I was wondering where these bits were, then I figured it out after. Those are so you can plug the ladders together. Was that in the Cobra one? I don't remember. But I figured it out. You know, back to their plastic-free packaging. I actually kind of miss the tissue paper things. You know, it's funny, these are assembled now. On the Cobra one, they weren't assembled. I wonder why they assembled them. Oh, you get 2 50 cows. Really? 2 of them? Interesting. And this looks like the rest of the little bits. Ooh, there went one of the ladder pieces. So it feels like there's less of the clips on this one. No. So let's get the figure out. And then we'll have everything out of the packaging. It's kind of interesting opening these back to back and just seeing the differences. So let's go over the figure first. So here's a close-up of the head. I kind of like the neon yellowish green visor. Here he is from the side, SCS, and then here's the back. Here's the other side. And let's go over articulation. His head can go down pretty far. Back, the helmet kind of impedes a little bit. Not really much side to side. There's a little bit. Let's see. He has a little bit of a butterfly. Not a lot. 360. Gotta move the shoulder pads out of the way, but you can kind of get above 90. There's a bicep swivel, and he does have the double jointed elbows, but only the bottom one engaged. There we go. There's both of them. And then the normal wrist, really good movement in the wrist. He has the ab cut, so you can crunch to there, crunch back that far. Not a lot because it is kind of, this overlay is blocking it. He has waist swivel, legs, drop down hips, decent drop down hips. Leg can go that far forward, not really much back. Snug double knees. He has a boot cut. The ankle can go back that far forward, and there is a rocker, a good rocker. Did I do thigh swivel? He has a thigh swivel. And that covers it for articulation. So here's the weapons he comes with. Comes with a sidearm, and that can go in his holster here. He has a knife, and that can go right there. And then he has the standard Joe issue laser rifle. So let's set him aside and then kind of go over some of the bits that come with it. So we do have a pair of can ammo and ammunition. It has spotlight, same as the one that came with the Cobra, just the green deco. This looks like some type of, I don't know. Here's the radar dish. Now, unlike the Cobra one, there is no paint. There's two of these clips, which I think you use these to cover the connector pieces. Two female connector pieces. Two male connector pieces. And then two pieces, these little pins, and they plug in the ladder so you can stack the ladder. There's also this disc, and the disc can plug into these bits, and you can mount. Well, that's how they did. That's how they were on the Cobra one. They would mount on here. But I don't know what they mount on. There is a pair of 50 cal. And I think, all right, so these mount, okay, so I see what they did. So like the Cobra one, the 50 cal could mount on there, but here is like the vamp. So I think this is the back that's of the vamp. I might have them pegged wrong. Oh. Yeah, I have them pegged wrong. You could have one going each direction. So they peg like that, and then you can mount them. And then you have the missile rack. And this is the same missile rack that came with the Stinger. Oh, look at that. Come on. Probably have to put some heat on that and get that. Ugh. That'll affect your avionics in flight. So yeah, there's that. So next up, let's take a look at, so here's the ladders. Now, ladders have a nice like safety deco on that. And then we'll go over the panels. So this is the center or front panel. Here is the weapons rack. And we have the, I think this is the roof. And here is the floor. And then we have our two like sidewalls. It says G.I. Joe mod system on both of them. And then on the inside, nothing, no deck on the inside. So first we'll just kind of put all this together in like 1 second. All right, so let's build the Joe one. So I'm just gonna plug these in the ladder so they don't get lost. Wait, that's the roof. Take the base plate. Plug that in. You know, it probably would have been better if I plugged these into here first, because it's a kind of a snug fit. Plug those in like that, and let's get our weapons rack. Can't find the hole. Here's what it looks like with the rifle mounted on there, if you want to do that. Pop that in. Pop that in. One thing I noticed in the Cobra one's the same way. The pins, the tabs or whatever, do not like to stay in on the walls. This one goes in like that. And there's kind of like a look at the bunker. Now, so there's pictures of the missile rack mounted to the roof. But there's really no peg to mount it. And also, where is this supposed to go? So now these can mount on these pedestals, but there's nowhere to mount the pedestals. Now, I mean, you can mount the radar dish. I wonder if this is supposed to just plug into one of the walls. Nope, it does not plug in. So where does this go? That's one thing that's kind of a complaint with this. There's no clear-cut instructions for everything. So you can mount the ladder to there. And you can, yeah, there's no. Look at that. Look at those missiles. So sad. Let me double check. Let me be back. Let me double check the instructions. All right, so like the Vamp, this you can put your ammo can here, and then it, feed the ammunition through. The ammo cans don't want to stay put. Would it be better to go in this way? Actually, they stay put better that way. If you do them weird. But the funny thing is, all right, so you can put those in like so. And then you have a mounted that can mount. So these that were with the Cobra one, you were able to mount it here, mount this on here, and then you could mount whatever. Oh, is that upside down? No. And that's how you mounted the 50 cal, but these are different. Same piece. But not a way to mount. Like, you can mount these on here, which is fine. But the problem is you can't mount this on here, you could just set it. God, those missiles piss me off. I mean, you can peg the spotlight up there, but no real way to. And then this thing, I don't know. Say in the chat, where does this go, or the comment section, because unless it does not go on here anywhere. Wait, does it go in between these? Because the instructions don't show shit where this thing goes. Huh. Well, I think we figured it out, folks. I don't know which way is the right way. I wonder if that piece is on the vamp. I have to check out the vamp. So, all right, we figured that out. It goes right there. What a silly thing to not tell. I mean, I looked at the instructions. All right, well, noted. So, I wonder, can both, so, I think if we raise this up, we could probably have them poking out of the top of this. And the ladder's in the way. So you can peg that in and put the ladder back on. And yeah, that looks beefy. You can't really tilt, but I mean, you can tilt a little bit. And if you want, you could slap that up there. Yeah, I think these pieces are pointless. These were used on the Cobra one. I don't know what they would be used for this one, because the Cobra one, these pegged in, and then the turret, the 50 cal could peg into that. Interesting, strange. But yeah. So that's pretty much that's all for this. Let's go to my final thoughts. All right, so let's move on to my final thoughts. So first off, let's go with the bad here. Come on now. What, look at those missiles. What a sad state of affair how bent up those missiles are. I don't know if it's just how it was packed or what. The gumminess is coming back in the weapons too. I've noticed that a little bit in the rifle. It's weird how things don't peg in. Like, so this one, I got pieces to mount things, but like the Cobra one, but they don't mount the same here. I like having the extra options like the missile rack and the gun turret from the vamp, but yeah, it's just weird that they didn't make them connective. Like at least the missile rack. Like, I mean, you can kind of see how I have the dual 50 cals inside the base poking out, but it was almost like they were meant to not be inside there. I'm looking forward to getting more of these and just kind of like building like an outpost. But yeah, it's just like, you know, if you're collecting classified, I would say if you got to have them all, just to add one of them, but not to true build this. Like the figure feels fine. I dig the visor, the yellow, the neon look of the visor, but I don't know, this one, I think the Cobra one was a little bit more simple and had less things and did it better than the Joe one, sadly. Because they added these extra bits and yeah. It's like it was almost like an afterthought. But like I said, if you collect classified, you kind of, I would say at least have this one, just one of them. But yeah, that would be my suggestion. But I mean, the other negative thing is you can kind of see this as it's rotating, but as you're manipulating, and these pegs just like to kind of come out, and they just don't stay. They don't stay snug. You kind of see some gappages in there, but yeah. You know, I don't want to say buyer beware, but I mean that's what you can kind of expect with this one. I think the Cobra one was better, but yeah. So if you could, you know, leave a comment in leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber, share this video, and also look me up on the other socials. I'm on TikTok, X, Instagram, posting news daily on those sites. I have a Facebook page posting as well. All of them at Talib1980_collects. And yeah, that's all I got for this one. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.